Okay, so here's the systems. This is actually the pump is in here, okay, and this is a reservoir, and there's going to be a dipstick in here. Oh, you know what? Do we have any sort of rags
I can find some.
or paper towels? Maybe there's some paper towels or something. This is the reservoir, and the reservoir is going to have a dipstick on this cap. So we have the power coming up from underground here, probably going over to one of those, and I have a sensor so that we can sense if the power is on or not. And then it looks like this handle has been broken off. This is going to rotate. It's going to be forward. Let me come down here. This is going to be forward, off, and reverse in order to lift and close those. So we're going to first see what works, what doesn't work. Okay. So that okay. So I can hear that there's a centrifugal speed clutch that's in there, and that's what that secondary click is. Maybe you'll be able to hear it. So after it starts to shut down, there's a slight little click, okay? And what that is that's an engagement mechanism that goes off of centrifugal force. We're going to see what happens down here. Okay, so that actually sounds like a bearing problem. And it doesn't want to go in reverse at all. So this switch could have a bad contact. We can take that off and take a look. But for the time being, let's go ahead and I'm going to put this hat back on. Okay, and I hope it's adjusted right. And let's come over here and let's turn off one of these, the left one, and let's see what happens here. Okay. Okay, so this is the left one, and I'll bet this other one, let's turn that back on and that off. Okay. And now let's see. Yeah, okay. So now the power's off to this bottom one. That's the one we want to take apart. And this one is still on. Okay. And thank you. And what we'll do is we'll take a look inside here. And it looks dry. So the oil that I can see down in there is actually very low down in there. There's a little bit of metal on this side that you can kind of see. That's the top of a casing. The oil has to be above that level. So kind of like a motorcycle tank. There's like the hump that's in the tank tells you how high to fill it. Let's see about this one here. Okay, this one, I don't see anything in there either. Okay, I'm gonna need you to get a one of those green palm fronds.
Okay.
Just a one little blade.
Yeah. You want to use a blade from that bamboo behind you?
Yeah, it happens to be right here. Oh, we'll use this one right here. This one's gonna be perfect. Okay, that one's perfect. All right, and let's see what we've got. Okay, so we do have some oil in there. All right. Okay, so this one does have oil. Oh, and I forgot to use the rag. I'm getting all filthy. Okay. Now, I would recommend putting some plastic underneath and then just kind of lightly degreasing it, a little gunk engine bright or something, keeping it away from this part of the motor. You don't want to get any solvent inside there where the bearings are, but this side is going to be sealed up, so you don't have to worry about this. So you can clean that all up, and that'll make it look a lot better. And then that should probably clean up okay. It looks like it's coming off, so that should probably, a little gunk engine bright should take care of most of that. Okay, so this isn't a bucket of oil, is it?
I don't know. Could be. Yeah, looks like it is. I just see OL at the end. So it's oil right there.
Yeah, but it could have gotten rained on because there's no cap on it. If we see any sort of a separation or a rainbow effect, then we shouldn't put it in the system. Here, let's take it off on this side here. Okay. Okay, no, this is just water.
That's just all water.
Okay, so it's not oil at all. Okay. So when we leave, we can dump this out. Well, it would be best to dump it out because mosquitoes are going to grow in there and everything. But anyway, so this one seems to have enough oil, but it does sound really bad. Now this sound here, I have it off. This sound here, that's nice, okay? And it slows down gradually, okay? That sounds really nice. So the motor is turning nice. I don't hear this actuating at all. Normally you'll hear a force of some pumping, but that could be because there's not enough oil and it's not getting there. Or it could be that the coupling between the motor and the pump, which is inside this collar, has disconnected, okay? And so the first thing I would do is fill this up with oil and try it and see if you start getting some pressure going out there. Okay, then the next thing I would do is I would, if that doesn't work, then the next thing I would do is I would go ahead and separate this off and just check to see if because this will move a little bit. You can take this collar off and you can check the coupling. But right now the motor is firing up right away. There's a little centrifugal clutch that I was listening to, and that seems, you can kind of hear that click, so that seems to be okay. So I think this system, the coupling just needs to be checked and just needs to have oil in it, and then hopefully the pump didn't burn up. But so this top one seems to be okay. This bottom one will open up now. I'm an old guy, I want to sit back down. And I checked it with the power, so the power's off, because those two switches are those. The left one is for the top, right one's for the bottom.
How did you know that the power's off?
Because I tested it first,
With what?
here.
Oh, just go, okay.
Anyway, and it sounded terrible. And then I tried both switches, and this one turned off when I turned off that left one, and this one turned off when I turned off the right one.
But you turned the left one back on because that one was just running.
Yeah. Yeah, if you take a look at those, you'll see that the one on the left is still up.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Okay. So now, okay, long screw, right side. No, I'm probably gonna need the rag again. I'll put it here. Yeah, I just don't want to get too much dirt on the threads, but I can always clean it. Long one on the left. Oh, and there's oil in there. Okay, so there's the contacts. And it does look like these contacts over here have been burned up a bit. If you take a look, let's see. If you take a look right in here, they've been kind of chewed up a bit. Those contacts right there look pretty good. These contacts look a little burned up. Okay. And otherwise, these little lifting dogs, they spread out these contacts and then snap them back into place. And either there's supposed to be one missing, or there's one that has been burnt off. Okay, so first thing I want to do is make sure that that switch doesn't turn off the neutral and turns off the hot. And the way I do that is like this little thing, it'll test for electricity. So there's nothing hot in here. So that means I can touch stuff. Okay. See, this contact here looks like it's been broken, burned off. That looks like it right there. Yeah. So it melted. Okay, so so what you have is, oh my knee, I'm too old for this shit. Okay, what you have is this contact has been burned up essentially. These contacts still actually look pretty good. Inside this thing, the contacts don't look so good either. So yeah, it looks like this switch might indeed need to be replaced. But this motor, it's 3/4 horse, 60 hertz, 115 230, so it's a single phase motor, 4.9 amps. And I don't know how these are arranged, so we'd have to take it off of the pecker head. So getting a replacement for this would ideally be the way to go. So this is Furnas. Okay, so Furnas is a subsidiary of General Electric. So a Furnas switch, Batavia, Illinois. That's the switch that's going to be necessary. So this switch will need to be replaced unless you can find the contacts. If you can find the contacts and you can find this upper part, the upper contacts, you could rebuild this. This handle comes off, this center section comes up, and you would be able to replace those contacts. So you could, if you could find a contact kit, you could quickly rebuild that. It would be like 15 minutes. Wouldn't take long at all. And then this capacitor is good. This one, the motor did try to start in one direction.
You have it off right
Yeah,
now.
I just want to make sure it's off when I turn it back on. So anyway, this capacitor might be good, considering that this capacitor is good. All right, let me put these screws back in. So, oil, test, need to get pressure, no pressure at all, check the coupling, still no pressure, and you know the pump is turning, then that means your pump is probably bad. The pressure, you should be able to see the lines actually physically move because they're bent. When you put pressure in them, they're gonna expand a little bit. But you also have a valve here, and then these are regulators for the pressures coming back. You know, so that's how that is set up. What else about this system? I can't think of really anything else, but yeah, it's a shame that switch is no good. Now the other thing that could be done is it looks like the switches are the same. So what could be done, if you really wanted to get that just down and say you're going to have to rebuild it, and it is what it is, would be to take the guts from this switch, put it in here, and see if that thing will actually bring that cover down. Okay? This motor sounds really bad though. This end bearing,
Yeah.
sounds like it's bad. So you can't plan on running this and really testing it, but if you change out that switch and if the pump works, the motor might have enough in it to bring it down, but I wouldn't trust it past that. Really what should be done is this motor should be rebuilt and have new bearings put in, the coupling checked to make sure that the and the pump, so the coupling check to make sure that it's running the pump, and then if the pump is working fine, then okay, great. But bearings should be rebuilt, or motor can be taken apart, cleaned, new bearings put on. This switch should be replaced or rebuilt. This just needs some oil, coupling, and check the pump. And then from that point, you'll be able to check the hydraulic system and to find out if the hydraulic system is still functional or not.
So where do you think the best place to replace the switch is? Do you have an idea?
Well, for NOS, you can check online. I mean, now that we know the manufacturers for NOS, we can check. The other thing is that the control logic places, any sort of warehouse utilities, forklift utility locations, places where they have docks, like shipping and receiving, different hydraulic mechanics. Oh, there's hydraulic oil.
That one looks sealed up too.
Yeah, that looks pretty dang old, but it has a cap on it. Well, that's definitely oil that's in there, but it looks almost like it's used because it's really dark, and I don't have anything to like really
funnel
test
it.
it with. If there's a long stick. That's clean.
I bet I can find one.
Okay. Oh, see if we can find a funnel too. I'm going to turn this off the camera.